From the South Shore,
they came out and immediately sensed high levels of carbon monoxide in the house.
To the North Shore.
My entire immediate family almost died from something that we didn't even know could happen.
People across the region reached out to us to detail their terrifying experiences with carbon monoxide getting into their homes from their whole house generators after Hurricane Ida. All of the stories sounded similar.
Okay, the fireman came in through this way. He immediately got a reading on his meter, like literally just right here.
Our reports and what officials call an alarming number of people this happened to prompted State Representative Stephanie Hilferty to act.
And I don't want to see a family die.
She says she can sympathize with the families we've spoken to because it also happened to her.
In the middle of the night, a couple of days into Ida, so the generator had been running for a while, it went off in the middle of the night, with a high, like, beep, beep, beep.
Hilferty and her family figured out where the carbon monoxide was getting into the house and sealed the area off. She knows they were lucky. Wanting to prevent this from ever happening to anyone again, she's in the process of writing up legislation to address where whole house generators should be installed.
What we're looking at is a statewide minimum standard. So placement near windows, placement near open crawl spaces, making sure that it is not placed anywhere near those two things where you could have the exhaust come into the home.
Right now, installers rely on instruction manuals from the generator manufacturers to determine the safest place to put a unit. In some parishes, but not all, permits are required for generator placement, meaning the parish would also have to determine where the generator goes. But there's no universal state law detailing how far generators need to be from a home or a neighboring house.
Many jurisdictions have no regulations on generators.
State Fire Marshal Butch Browning believes a new state law is desperately needed, especially considering the hundreds of calls that local fire departments received in the days after Ida.
I definitely think we dodged a bullet as it relates to deaths, but make no mistake about it, there were people who got sick.
All of the people we spoke to, including Hilferty, say they thought licensed contractors properly installed their units.
We thought we were doing everything right.
In St. Tammany Parish, homeowners are now encouraged to place new whole house generators at least 5 feet from their homes and at least 15 feet from a neighboring house because of this problem. But both Hilferty and Chief Browning know that type of distance wouldn't work everywhere.
I represent Lakeview, I represent Metairie. We have houses that are very close, and if you said 15 feet, it might not be feasible for those families to have a generator.
In addition to addressing where units are installed, Hilferty says there's another critical component: carbon monoxide detectors. Right now, only homes built after 2009 are required to have them.
The issue is that when homes are sold, we'd like to see that be a part of the sale process, that house has a carbon monoxide detector installed. Or when an apartment is released, that a carbon monoxide detector is installed in that apartment if that apartment building has gas service.
We save hundreds of people's lives every year in Louisiana with working smoke alarms. So I believe that this is the right vehicle to possibly get us to the level of protection of carbon monoxide.
Hilferty is still working out the details of this potential legislation, like exactly what distance is a safe distance for a generator to be installed from a home. She thinks local jurisdictions would be responsible for enforcing the law. Chief Browning explains if local parishes choose to, they can pass their own ordinances to require even more regulations.
State law would be the minimum. So if whatever the state was to say, that would be the law of the land. The local jurisdictions can require more, but they can't require less.
Browning hopes Hilferty will be successful with this new law.
Good things come out of bad things, and certainly this storm and the recovery of this storm is just horrendous on people and the people who experience problems with generators. We've got to seize that, and we've got to educate, and we've got to make some change.
Hilferty believes the change has got to come.
I don't want to see somebody dying in their sleep when, the generator could have been placed differently, or a carbon monoxide detector, a $20 piece of technology could have saved their lives.
Meg Gatto, Fox 8, Local First.